Your wife sitting there. And over here is your mistress.
Hi, guys. My name is Beloved, and you are watching another Beloved Oracle Speaks. Today, we are going to watch an episode of Iyanla Fix My Life. There is a woman there asking Iyanla to fix her cheating husband. Let's take a look together. Hey, welcome to Oracleville, darlings. Please remember to hit that like button. Enjoy the show. Midge, welcome to the show, Smidge. How are you today, darling?
Good and you, beautiful.
Oh, thank you, ma'am. Have you ever had to fix a cheating husband?
Nope.
Okay, just checking. Didn't know if you ever had to deal with it. So since you haven't, we just gonna keep it on moving, and we're gonna see what's going on in this show. Okay?
Okay, let's go.
Thanks for joining me.
He's the pastor. She's the pastor's wife. They're living a double life. A marriage on the brink. The ultimate betrayal.
What are you afraid is going to happen?
That I'm gonna lose my wife forever.
Let it out. Let it out. No, don't cover it up. Let it out.
Just how many secrets will Iyanla expose?
The wife wrote me saying that she and her husband are separated, considering divorce. But they're keeping it a secret.
Oh,
The reason? He's the pastor of a local church.
she just said the pastor of a church, Smidge.
Yes, she did. Yes.
Okay, just checking. She said the pastor.
Let's go, dude. We don't have all day. We finished?
Every Sunday morning, Pastor Patrick Dennis prepares for his sermon as his wife Natasha and their 3 children get ready for church.
Did you brush your teeth?
But for the last 8 months, this couple has been keeping a secret. They have been living apart while pretending to their church that they are still together.
Okay, so they've been living apart, so that's information, but they're still pretending to be together. I know there's some people who sometimes they just lie and say they're in the same household, but there's no relationship or that they live apart. There's so many different scenarios that come, but when I say this is the 1001 things that can happen in life, we're about to hear one of those things. So let's go.
The church doesn't know we're separated. The members think that we're one big happy family, which couldn't be further from the truth right now.
I dropped the ball. I betrayed her trust. I mean, I've messed up in ways unimaginable.
They can just testify that he woke me up this morning, he started me on my way, he put food on my table, clothes on my back, shoes on my feet, nobody but God.
Pastor Dennis admits to cheating on his wife many times. He says there's been about 20 women that he's had affairs with during his 10-year marriage to Natasha.
Hold on. She said he had 20. Hold on, I gotta go back. 20 affairs in his 10-year marriage, I think. Let me see.
His wife many times. He says there's been about 20 women that he's had affairs with during his 10-year marriage to Natasha. Pastor Dennis says several of those women are members of his congregation. One of his affairs resulted in a child.
I just want a revival.
Wow. I must be hungry or something.
This pastor gets around.
If this man thinks he had 20 affairs in 10 years and some of the women go to the church, there is no way that your whole entire church doesn't know and that they're just not letting you know that they know. And I cannot believe, I can't wait to see this. This is a lot. I'm going to reserve my opinion until I hear this story because I do have one. And it's starting to build up. I'm going to hold on to it. I'm going to hold my mule.
After learning about her husband's repeated infidelity,
Lord, send a revival
Natasha
to him,
decided
Lord.
to move out, and she says she's also had an affair. Now Natasha's torn between trying to fix her marriage or moving on.
Yeah, I bet you there are a lot of people out there like that. Yeah. Torn between the right and the wrong thing.
Now, Natasha is not only a wife, she's the wife of a minister, which makes her the first lady of a church. Now, in the Deep South, in a Baptist church, that is a huge responsibility. But what I want to know is if Natasha's ready to step out of the image into the reality of her life.
I'm good.
Give me a big old hug.
Oh, she seems so sweet.
How you doing?
Okay.
Good. Well, get you a tissue. Oh my Lord. I just walk in the door, you start weeping, people gonna wonder what I did to you. Wow. A lot going on.
Yes, it is a lot going on. But I'm okay.
Is that true? Are you okay?
Most days.
Okay. Do you get that it's okay if you're not okay?
I've never heard that before.
Yeah, because I think sometimes as Black women, we make ourselves okay with stuff that just ain't okay.
Okay.
Yeah. What is going on in your life that you were motivated to write me?
I have been separated from my husband, who is a senior pastor, for 8 months. We've been living separately, but in public, we act as though we're still married.
And you've been living separately in this apartment.
I've been in this apartment, and I have the children. We have 3 children. On the weekends, they're supposed to go with their dad.
So you've been married, what, 9 years, 10
10
years?
years.
10 years.
10 years. It'll be 11 years in a few months.
And why are you separated?
Because of continuous infidelity with many different women.
But then comes Sunday morning.
And come Sunday morning.
Church time.
Correct. We go to church like everything's okay. And we go to church as though we're still one big happy family.
That's the biggest lie you can tell. As a preacher, you standing up there knowing damn well that you're living out of order to your religion, and you stand up there and you preach at people. What you need to do is go sit down. You should not be up there ministering to anyone in your condition.
I dread it. I feel like I'm going to lie.
Are you going to lie?
To lie, you know?
Yeah,
Not going to
postulate. That's what
but
it's
you're
called.
Going to
Posture
church
yourself in a lie.
to lie.
Mm-hmm.
Can I hear you say
I'm
that?
going to church to lie.
Is it my
Going to church to
understanding
lie.
that some of those
I
women
wonder
are
how
still
many
attending
people
the church?
go to church to tell a whole lie every week. Every week. Ooh, this is bringing up some old memories. Jeez. Let me get through this.
I'm also aware that your husband fathered a child by one of the women he had an affair with.
Yes.
Okay. Do they speak to you?
No.
You're the first lady of the church. The women your husband slept with attend the church, and they walk right by you and don't speak to you.
Right.
Let me ask you a question. Why am I here? What is it that you think I can do for you?
Help me get some clarity as far as how I got here. How in the world am I 35 years old and I'm married to someone who has done these things, and then I'm at the point where I don't know what to do.
Wow.
When I left,
Is that true that you don't know what to do?
I'm scared.
Okay, now we're getting to the truth. Yeah. Tell me about your first night in this apartment by yourself.
I felt safe
What do you mean by that?
because I worked during the day. And so many of the women he would bring to the house while I was at work.
Okay, wait a minute. Hold the phone, Jesus. Forgive me.
So now he is not only cheating, but he is bringing them into her nest. Your nest should be everything. You are supposed to protect your nesting partner. Her belongings are in her home. Her home is supposed to be her safe place.
Let me see if I got this. That your husband, the pastor of the church, would bring women into your family home.
Yes.
Ooh.
I'm not real sure what it is you need me to tell you.
Yeah. Ooh. Talk
What
to her,
would you call
Iyanla.
what you've been through these past few years? What would you call
I've been through hell.
it? Come on. Now say it with your heart, not your head.
Iyanla,
Yeah.
I've been through hell.
Yeah. What does God say? What does God say to you about the hell you're in? Do you ever ask him?
Mm.
That would be a no.
Mm.
Because you can't tell me that the God I know and serve would say, my daughter, stay in hell.
God
Look,
teaches us to forgive.
Iyanla is not telling her wrong. And this lady just said, God teaches us to forgive, which is also very true. That we have to learn more to see what's going on. This guy seems like he's out of control. It's one thing if she has forgiven him or is in some way complicit with him in him doing these things and having this behavior, but it's a whole nother thing. Ugh. And you do forgive, but forgive, you can forgive a person. And again, sometimes you forgive and you stay right where you are. You measure your mate, you see what their commitment level is, and all of those things. This seems like he just took complete advantage of his wife. It's not even like a polyamorous relationship where he's involved, like they're all involved together, helping each other take care of the family and the kids and everything. This is the she's on the outside of that. Even they don't even speak to her in church. Who doesn't speak to someone in church? Like,
You can forgive from another address.
yes, exactly. I do want to say one thing though, that I would never encourage anyone to leave if their heart is not ready to stop loving. You do, if it's necessary for you to get to that point, you will get to that point. And sometimes we go through these trials and tribulations because we kind of challenge ourselves through it, which is what this wife is doing. And she's really pushing forward, it seems. um she has to get to a point where she's going to stand up for herself. If this isn't hurting her, that's one thing. But if this is hurting her and taking away from her own quality of life, then she definitely has to make an adjustment.
Forms of emotional abuse include being disrespectful.
Has your husband been disrespectful to you?
Yes. Discourteous, rude, condescending,
See?
What's next?
patronizing,
Yeah. What else?
critical, judgmental, joking, insults,
What else?
lying, repeatedly forgetting promises and agreements,
And
betrayal of trust.
has that happened
Yes.
in your home, possibly in your marital bed? What is all of this called?
Abuse.
Sometimes a slap in the face is easier
Mm,
to call a thing a thing.
yeah, that's
Because
true.
some abuse is not physical. Abuse does not have to be physical. There's emotional abuse, there's psychological abuse, and beloved First Lady, there is spiritual abuse. I think this is about image and ego.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So
Image and
I know
ego.
because you're the First Lady, you got a First Lady hat, don't you?
Of course I do.
Go get it for me. So there's the First Lady. Just straight, get her appearance good. Now, you're talking to a church girl now.
Yes.
So there's some perks with being the First Lady.
There's, I mean,
Talk to her, Iyanla.
being in the spotlight would be a perk. Being able to wear the nice clothes and the nice hats and
So
special parking space. That's my favorite one.
Oh yeah. So when you look at her,
So there's no
when you tell
there's no
me
spiritual
who is
perk,
she?
right?
She is confident and secure, and she has everything together at all times.
Really?
Oh.
So when we look at the shoes, the clothes, where's God in that?
Nowhere to be
Now, when I
found.
take the hat off, who's that?
Nowhere to be
Who would
found.
she be?
Nowhere to
without-
be found. And half the time there's a two-step right behind that.
Who would she be without this?
Well, I really like her. So she would be a cool little chick. I mean, you know, I really like her a lot.
Really?
I
So
really do.
why have you sold her down the river for a
Ooh.
hat and a parking space?
Yes. Why have you done that to yourself, young lady? You have sold yourself down the river. Not even for not you haven't even gone on a spiritual journey for yourself. There's always something to gain from it though. There's always something to gain. That's why she and she has children there and I'm sure she loves them, but there's more to gain. And that hat, just like Iyanla is showing her, and just being called that, it's like being a queen. You know, because when you walk through those doors, you're the first lady. It's a whole nother game over there. Smidge, have you ever been to church?
No, I haven't.
No?
I just been to like Sunday schools with family, and then that's it.
So never upstairs with in
Nope.
the main service?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Well, Sunday school is fun. That used to be pretty fun.
Why have you sold her down the river for a hat and a parking space?
I don't even know.
A hat and a
That's what you
parking
gotta find
space.
out. Port, Louisiana, and I'm going to church. While publicly
I
pretending
gotta
to
look him
still be
up.
together, they have really been living apart.
Do I have any witnesses in this place today?
Natasha is on the brink of filing for divorce because of her husband's repeated infidelity with some members of his congregation. Pastor Dennis is trying to hold on to his marriage and his church. I've got two hurting people, and one is trying to lead a flock from a broken place.
Yes,
I
from
want
a
to find
broken
out
place,
how
bro.
he
You have
ended
to
up
sit
Pastor
down.
Dennis.
Hello.
Now, should I say pastor or reverend? What would be your preferred?
Whatever you feel comfortable
No,
with,
whatever you
Patrick.
feel.
Patrick is fine.
Oh,
Pastor Dennis.
Pastor Dennis.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good. How
You
are
sure?
you?
Mm.
Yes.
Nervous?
Very. Extremely.
Don't be nervous. I want to acknowledge your courage. Because there's going to be times when I have to question your motives, challenge your responses, and step on your toes. But you know, truth is like that, right? Yeah. Look me in my eye
Yes, ma'am.
and tell me, what do you feel?
I feel broken.
Yes.
I'm disappointed in those who depend on me. I feel like I've disappointed God.
Look at me. Have you disappointed yourself?
Yeah.
That to me is the most important piece.
Yeah.
Do you know what your gift is in ministry?
My gift is pastoring, leading people, shepherd,
Really?
Yeah.
You know, they say that wherever your gift
I
is,
thought
that's
he
where
was
it's
gonna
gonna
say
be.
he had the gift of the laying on of the hands. Cause he does that a lot. He
Right.
lays on of the hands, okay. I know I'm being a little funny, but sometimes when I'm upset, like this story has a lot of there's a lot of people who go through this stuff, and there's a lot of people within the church who go through this stuff, and it's yeah, I'm gonna bide my tongue. I'm gonna bide my tongue. Just let's go on.
So, how old were you when you started pastoring?
I was 24.
Wow. After his congregation learned of his numerous affairs, many left the church for good, and the pastor nearly lost his job. How many women have you had affairs with in this church? Let me hold your hand so you know I won't judge you, I won't leave you.
Woo!
More than 5.
More than 5.
Yes.
How many more than 5?
And how many at the
About
visiting
10
churches?
Since I've been married.
But you also fathered a child with one of the women that you had an affair with in your church. Is that true? Yes or no?
Yes.
This is where you stand on Sunday morning. Yeah, in this place. Now tell me,
He's
when you
supposed
look
to be
out
the
there
bringer of the holy
on a
word.
Sunday morning and you see your wife sitting there, and over here is your mistress. Tell me what it is that you tell yourself that makes you believe that that's in integrity with God. Do you get that in order for you to do that every Sunday, that there's a part of you that is dead? Do you get that?
Yeah.
Can you acknowledge that there's just a part of you that is just dead?
Yeah. Yes.
That's discord, boo. What scripture? Tell me what's your scriptural authority for that. So, when you look up there and you see what? The altar of God. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, what does it mean to you?
It's a sacred place.
It
It's a
can't
place
be.
where the truth comes forward.
So you walked up into that pulpit knowing that as you looked down on your wife, you had not been honest and authentic with her. Would that be accurate? Okay, take a step back. Face the altar. And let's say you did that with 10 different women in the church.
Take 10 steps back,
so
bro.
10 in the church, take 10 steps back. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
That's
And how
probably
many were there outside of the church?
Maybe another 10.
Another 10.
maybe another
Okay,
10.
take 5 steps back.
Maybe that's not
Let's
even
just
it.
roll them all into the other. Now,
That's why
when
he
you
needs to
went
be
out to
sitting at
have
the
these
back of the church.
sexual encounters with these women, did you tell your wife where you were going?
No.
Take a step back. I'm just going to give you one step back because you might end up in the cornfield in a minute. The woman with whom you fathered a child, she was a married woman at the time of your encounter. Would that be accurate?
Yeah.
Take a step back. Do you have a loving, nurturing, supportive relationship with the child you fathered with that married woman?
No.
No. Take a step back.
Ooh.
Let's just stop right here. When you look at how far you are from the altar, just based on your behavior, this is how.
Based on your behavior, what the hell makes you think you could walk up in there every Sunday and preach a damn word? You remember the beginning when I said you need to go sit the hell down somewhere? That's where you need to sit, way back there. You don't get kicked out of the church, but you need to go sit down somewhere, okay? You're going to cause other people to stumble.
How far you are from the arms of God.
I have to say this. I can't agree with that he's away from the arms of God. I get what Iyanla is saying. We each individually are the temple. And when we do things that is against our spirit, the spirit that dwells in us, we know this. So when you do that, you are disappointed in yourself, and therefore you turn further and further away from yourself, therefore turning further and further away from God, therefore believing God has turned further and further away from you. But in all actuality, all you have to do is self-correct.
People can have all kinds of assessments and opinions
Yes.
about what they see,
Yes.
but nobody can talk you out of your experience.
Mhm.
Why did you call me here?
To make me see my truth.
And to help you see things clearly.
Hmm.
Are we doing that?
100%.
That you dishonored yourself for a hat and a parking space.
And the parking space.
Powerful
Yep.
awareness. And you get to choose.
Huh.
You get to choose.
That's the bottom line for this whole story. Iyanla taught her how she reduced herself and what her payback was.
Was this man ever a real husband to her?
No.
What do you know now?
That I was abused.
You knew
So
that
I
before?
abused.
No.
Psychologically, mentally, and
See,
emotionally.
Yes.
Doesn't abdicate your responsibility. But I want
but he
to
already knew
give you
that.
a better understanding than that you're just a rotten sex hound sleeping all over town.
He is a rotten sex
What's
hound
going
sleeping
on?
all over
Tell me what's
town,
going
though.
on. Yeah, something just shifted. What happened?
Because he is.
Pastor Dennis, what are
And
you
he don't want to
afraid is
stop
going to
being a
happen?
rotten sex hound.
That I'm gonna lose my wife forever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um,
I'd like to
that
know
my
why he wants to
family.
keep her. Because he hasn't honored or valued her at all.
How can you be a father right now? Asking your children to lie, demonstrating to them also.
You got to understand, if this man is crying these tears now, he's been through this. He's cried these tears with his wife time after time after time after time that she found out about his infidelity. Then time after she found out that he had a baby with a woman. Then after that, the woman's in the church. Time after time, I'm sure y'all have been through this. And you still haven't had a come to Jesus moment.
Sorts of bad behavior. Is who you are as Patrick enough to sustain you? That would be a no. So it means then, Patrick, that you're feeding off of other people. You're feeding off of their life and what they bring to you. And until you know, beloved, that who you are just as you are is enough to sustain you,
Enough
you
to
can't serve
sustain.
God or anybody else.
Amen to that.
You're fighting to hold on to your wife when what's the truth here?
I have a broken relationship with God.
And you need to go sit down, sir, and get it together.
You don't want to do.
Let go of my wife.
Do that. Do that. Patrick Dennis, this is Natasha, your wife. But not just your wife. This is a flesh and blood woman with a heart. Hey, can he touch you for a minute?
Yes.
Yeah, I know it might have been a while, but she's got a heart.
And you towed it
Have
up.
you
You
ever
tow it up.
fully given him your heart?
No.
And when you think about her, not just as your wife, but as a flesh and blood woman with a heart, what would you like to say to her?
I'll never betray your trust again.
I don't know if he even believed that.
I've hurt you. I've lied to you. I've cheated on you. But I did that, and I did that without fully knowing all that I was doing to hurt you, to hurt me, to hurt my children, to hurt my ministry, to hurt all that I stand for. And I'm sorry.
Yeah, if hindsight were 2020.
Natasha, this is Patrick. Patrick Dennis, your husband. This is a man.
Yes.
A man with a wounded heart. A man that you've never fully given your heart to. What do you want to say to him? Don't have to be nice.
I forgive you. And I hear you. And I will support you as we both work to heal.
However, I still want a
Oh,
divorce.
good. Let's go. Now it's decision time. What do you want him to know? What is it that you want your husband to know?
I love you, but you broke my heart. And I'm just exhausted. And I need to be by myself. I need this to end.
You want a divorce?
I want to be released from the marriage. I want to be let go. I want to be released.
Okay, so how does it feel to have spoken that out loud to him?
I feel like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
How does that make you feel?
She could support him and do all of the things to help him as a friend, and she does not have to stay in relationship with him. You know, that's two different things. That is two different things.
It's hard to hear because it's not what I want.
What are you really letting go of? Why would a woman, as beautiful as she is, as sweet, she's a sweet, sweet spirit,
Mm-hmm.
as sweet as she is, want to be with a man who's been with 20 other women, a man who supported her and diminishing and dismissing and denying her self-worth, her self-value. Why would she want to be with a man like that? That's really not about beating you up, Pastor Dennis. It's about cold water in your face.
Yep.
I think you want to stay because it's familiar
Mm-hmm.
and it's safe.
Mm-hmm.
Would that be accurate? What about for you?
Yeah,
It's familiar and it's safe.
it's familiar.
It's better the crazy you know than the crazy you
That
don't know. Take your wife's hand. Don't be mad at her.
Right.
And here's what I know to be true, that nobody prepares us for our most difficult test. I mean, what's the scripture that says, leave your wife with joy? What's the scripture that says, go find your value and your worth and your estate? I mean, some of this we're doing, OJT, on the job training. But this is what I know to be true. All things are lessons that God would have us learn.
Yep.
And the best students get the hardest tests. So I've been in your marriage now for 2 days, or your relationship. I told you I was coming to interrupt the story,
Hmm.
the pattern, and the process, and to reveal the truth. My work here is done. God bless you.
Hmm. That's powerful.
Okay. I'll take my water with me.
It's all your choices, bro.
Let's go get the kids.
Wow. Oh, she left the church. She's at peace with her decision. That's good. He confessed to the church. Oh, he also admitted that he is the father of the child of the affair. Okay. His congregation decided to keep him as pastor, and he's currently in counseling. Well, there it is. You got any closing remarks, Smidge?
Grandma does.
What grandma got to say? Talk to me, girl.
I think he gonna continue being a hoe.
Well, his wife is leaving him, so he could go on be a single hoe, I suppose. You know, I know that people go through things, but I just think like, and I know everyone's human, but when it comes down to being in the church and standing in a position of authority, you just have to function a certain way or go sit down until you
Right.
can get back in order. If you're not in order, you'll cause so many other people to fall or to not be or to even not believe. You turn people into hypocrites.
True.
So that's I'm glad that his wife decided to go. And honestly, if she decided to stay, that would be fine too. If she decided with a happy heart that she was going to stay and work this thing through with him, but
Yeah, but
I'm
after being with 20 women, that's a lot for a
that is
woman
a
to
lot.
to
That's
put
a
up
lot,
with.
grandma. That is not it is a lot. It is a lot that he might as well just have an open relationship,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
you know.
I mean, if they
So,
went in there together to agree, that's one thing, but
yeah. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
That's what I'm saying. If she was with him and I don't know, if they were working together in some other way together, then that's one thing. But this whole thing is just that's too much. That's a lot of hits. That's
yeah,
a lot of hit, and you know how women like. You know how many enemies you create for your wife when you're running around with a bunch of women? Your wife
Yep.
can't even go anywhere without women sneering at her, and she doesn't even know why they're sneering.
right.
Meanwhile, you done told them some joke or story. It's too much. Like, how gullible can those women be who are sitting in the church watching you preach, look over at your wife and be there? Like, that's a lot. He has to be telling them something.
Yeah,
Do they think they're going to be the next first lady after he's gone? You know how many preachers and ministers and deacons and everybody up in the church is just all up with each other? Ooh, child. I want to thank you all for joining me today. Please remember to like, subscribe, comment, and share. Until we meet again, darlings. Namaste.